Hello there, and thank you for joining me today with your MangoVoice tutorial. My name is Tyler, and today we're going to be going over the Call Logs tab in our website. So the first thing you're going to want to do once you're logged in, of course, is click on the Call Logs tab at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Once you're there, you'll see that we have this grid listing a bunch of options up top. We're going to go through these columns one at a time. The first one is our call time. This is going to be the date and the time that the call occurred. It is the start time of your call, not the end time, as well as the date, of course. The direction is if that call was an inbound, an outbound, or an internal call. It will display all three of those depending on what it was, of course. The source number is always the number that dialed the phone number. So if you're placing a phone call for an outbound call, your phone number will be the source phone number. If someone's calling you, however, it will be their phone number that shows up as the source number. The source name is going to be the caller ID of the caller, provided one is set up. As you can see here, we just have our basic phone number, so we don't have a caller ID set up with that number. But down here, you can see that we do have a caller ID set up, allowing the caller ID to be displayed. Our source extension is the extension that made that outbound call. If you're making an internal call, it will also display it here as well. Our destination number is the number that was dialed for an outbound call. So if you are calling someone, that is the number that you had dialed. If someone is calling you, you'll see your number displayed there instead. The destination extension is the extension that answered an incoming call. That'll only populate on inbound calls, much like the source extension only populates on outbound calls. On internal calls, however, it will populate on both, as those calls are in your system. The duration is how long that call lasted. If it lasted a few minutes, a few seconds, or even an hour. Disposition is if that call was answered, if they hang up before it could be answered, if it went to voicemail, if it was an external call sent to an external number. Occasionally, it will say unknown, which means the call was answered by something in our system, but not by an actual human being, such as our auto attendant. If someone were to hang up after the auto attendant had answered, it will say unknown because it wasn't technically answered, but at the same time, it was answered by our system. The call flow is how that call unfolds in our system when you have that inbound call. For outbound calls, we can't track that as it's not our system, but we can see that the number that was dialed, so that is what will be labeled during an outbound call. Inbound, however, will show you the phone number that was dialed, what switchboard it went to, where it went. In this example, it went to our queue. For this, it looks like it timed out, so it didn't get answered in time, and then it went to our voicemail. Our time to answer is how long it took for that call to be answered in your office. So as you can see here, we have a few that are 16 and 12 seconds, meaning it took that long for the call to be answered. Our call column here allows you to click on this download button, which is going to take you to another window for your call recordings. So right here, you'll be able to listen to those call recordings. You can, of course, close that window when you're done. You don't have to open up a new window if you don't want to. We have our call recordings right here under the play recording column. You can simply click this play button, and that's going to allow you to listen to that recording right here in this window. We, of course, allow you to download those to your computer as well by clicking this three dots right here. That'll allow you to download it, saving it for long term. We'll save your call logs for 12 months and call recordings for 6 by default. If you have a Mango Plus, those will both be increased to 24 months. And that's everything you need to know about our Call Logs tab. Thank you for joining me today with your MangoVoice tutorial.
And if this tutorial helped you today, I would appreciate it if you take a moment to like this video. And if you're interested in more tutorials, consider subscribing to our channel as we are going to be uploading more videos to help you with your Mango system.